Comic Boom here to review Captain America issues 1 and 2. Guys, this comes right off the heels of Secret Empire. I know it doesn't seem that way, but that's exactly where this story picks off. You can pretty much pretend you never read Mark Waid's run. Regardless of how you feel about Mark Waid's run, I thought it was okay. It was a fairly average run, but it was okay. Frankly, I wanted the fallout of Secret Empire. I wanted to know what the fallout of Secret Empire was, and this is giving it to me in spades, and that's why I'm glad that that's what Ta-Nehisi Coates. Man, I have a problem with names. Ta-Nehisi Coates. Mind you, they're stupid names though. It's not my fault he was born with a stupid name. Ta-Nehisi Coates, Lionel Francis Yu. Good God, the names. But in any event, very talented. This writing is it's not bad. It's actually pretty good. I'm impressed. Now, what's happened here? Well, America, rightly so, hates Captain America, or they don't necessarily hate him, but they don't know if he's actually a good guy anymore because he was the Hydra guy. All of a sudden, the person that was ruling them with a Hydra cap, iron hand, suddenly he's a good guy. And there's a new terrorist group called the Power Elite that's arisen, and they're really causing chaos. And Captain America here, he wants to get involved. Steve Rogers, he wants to get involved. And Sharon, his girlfriend Sharon, really, she's been working under General Ross. General Ross of Incredible Hulk fame there. General Ross has been who helped fight off Hydra in Secret Empire, or at least so we are told. I don't recall General Ross playing a major role in Secret Empire, but in any event, he's been promoted and he answers only to the president. And General Ross basically has been telling Steve Rogers, look, we're going after the Power Elite, and we don't need your help. Just stay away. No offense, Captain America, but Steve Rogers, you're kind of like, most people think of you as a bad guy now, and you're not going to help us. It's not helpful. You're not good PR. You're not good PR for us, so we're not going to hire you. We don't want you to get involved in the operations we have against the Power Elite. We're going to try to take them down without your help. We don't want your help. And what's interesting about this, is that Steve Rogers is naturally, he's going through some personal angst about it. He's all upset, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get that. That's understandable. And he bloody well should. But what's interesting here is issue 2 is far more interesting than issue 1 because it's revealed that Captain America, Steve Rogers, admits to striking a bargain with Kobik. That's very interesting. He struck a bargain with Kobik, but he doesn't say what it was. Now, presumably, obviously, some of that bargain that he struck with Kobik obviously would have had to have been with, I would think, with returning him to his glory and bringing him back and helping him defeat Hydra Cap, and he did that. But I think there's another aspect to the bargain that the good Steve Rogers made with Kobik before he came back, which facilitated Kobik restoring Steve Rogers, good Steve Rogers, to come back and defeat Hydra Cap. I'm not really sure what that bargain is, but that will likely be revealed in future issues. It's also revealed here that Steve Rogers has made another bargain with Wakanda, namely with the Black Panther, and so clearly he's got a pact because the United States government won't help him. His girlfriend Sharon, as much as she loves him, and they appear to be in a relationship, she doesn't want him involved, and she can't give him any secret intel that they might have on the Power Elite. But it appears that he's working in conjunction with Wakanda, and obviously that's going to be interesting. So there's definitely some secrets that are going on here, and what I find curious is that there's some flashbacks to Kobik, basically saying, I can make you strong again. And I'm not sure what that bargain with Kobik was, and I'm wondering how Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to, weave that into the story. But this is really good here. This is really good. This is a perfect comic book and this is so reflective of the United States right now. The United States right now is going through a culture war. Well, in fact, probably a lot of the world is going through a culture war, but it definitely seems to be very prevalent that the United States in particular is going through a culture war. I mean, the citizenry in the United States seems to be deeply divided. I'm speaking as a Canadian, and I'm not pointing fingers here because I know we as Canadians, we got three pointed back. We're not perfect ourselves. We got our own slew of problems. But it's interesting that we're, as a society, all of us, every country in the world right now seems to be going through somewhat of a culture war. And it's interesting that the culture war in the United States, the left versus right, and their ideals, what do they stand for? What does it mean to be American? What does even the Constitution mean? The war even over the appointment of the Supreme Court justices, all these things. Steve Rogers is indicative of that. What Captain America is going through in these first two issues is indicative of that. I'm very glad that Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing this. He seems to have a very good handle on Steve Rogers and what he's feeling and what he's going through. And he's angry. Steve Rogers is upset. He's angry. He's angry that all his ideals were tainted through no fault of his own. It was Kobik that did it. It was a super powerful cosmic force that ripped him, that destroyed his history, that destroyed his upbringing, that created his evil doppelganger. And he's the victim of it. Somewhere along the lines, he's lost control and he doesn't know how to get it back. And I think that's indicative of what a culture war is that somewhere along the line, it seems like, what happened? All of a sudden, we thought we knew our country. I thought I knew the United States, but I didn't. I thought they were better than that. I thought they were stronger than that. I thought they were more immune than other countries to hatred, to bigotry, to prejudice. But we've had our eyes opened. And I'm not saying that to be judgmental. I'm saying that because I've also realized some things about myself that I thought I knew about myself. I'm challenging my own preconceptions. We're all doing this in the midst of this culture war. I've had my viewpoints changed. I've had to challenge the way I've looked at things, politically, socially, culturally. It's what's happening, and it's nice to see some reflections of that in this comic book. I disagree with anyone who says they don't like this comic book because of if there's politics in it. If you don't like politics, then you shouldn't be reading this comic book. Good God, man. Don't buy this comic book and then get upset with the politics in it. What were you expecting? Honestly. Like, really, that ship has sailed, guys. It was called 2017, all right? Move along, all right? This is Captain America. It's going to be political. Why is it political? It's called Captain America. Have you looked at America lately? America's a culture war. America is a disastrous culture war. And so the fact that the lead character in Captain America has different citizenry, looking at him differently, perceiving him differently, should be of absolutely no surprise. That's what makes this such an interesting comic book. How is Steve Rogers going to reconcile the fact that different people look up to him for different reasons? This is a fantastic opportunity to really explore that. And that's what I love about this. And this is really going in a direction that I think I'm going to like. And might I also add that a Ta-Nehisi Coates, I'm going to call him Coates. Good, I can't say that name for the life of me. I call him T.N. Coates. Or T.N., yeah, whatever. Coates is taking this in a great direction. I'm glad that he's bringing Wakanda into it. I really am, because I like what he's doing over. I like what he did with Black Panther 2. He's not afraid to rock the boat, and quite frankly, I'm just anyone who gets uncomfortable with the politics of it. I can understand that, but only to a point. It's been long enough now that it upsets you. Stop reading the comic. I mean, really. I mean, come on already. And in any event, this is something that it's not. It's political, yes, but it's also fun reading. It's also interesting. It also creates a lot of drama, and you can sympathize with. I mean, can you imagine being Captain America and putting up with all the crap that's going on with America right now on the left and the right, and the fact that they don't listen to each other, they don't get along? I don't care if you're right, left, or in the center, wherever you are. Try to be a symbol for a country that is as multicultural and that is as divided and at war, in terms of its ideas right now than right now in the United States. It's nuts. You can really sympathize with Captain America. Now, it's you can take the cowardly way out and say, well, I'm just gonna write Captain America stories where there's no politics in it whatsoever. There's no terrorism in it whatsoever. And I always get a kick out of guys, so many people out there, fellow YouTubers out there, who will say that they want to go back to the golden age of espionage and Ed Brubaker's run. And then they seem to talk of Ed Brubaker's run as if there's no politics in it. And I'm thinking, well, clearly you never read Ed Brubaker's run. It was riddled with espionage and politics and deep state. And I mean, it was literally filled with that. And that's what made it interesting and fun. And Secret Empire, well, Secret Empire was just bad timing because Trump got elected. But, you know, again, I think that was probably a little bit too close to the bone, Secret Empire. But this is something that needs to be done. Whether we like it or not, Trump got elected. And I say whether you like it or whether you don't like it, live with it. And whether you like it or not, Secret Empire happened. So it can't be ignored. One of my pet peeves is when you have an epic storyline come out, and Secret Empire was an epic storyline. It was absolutely epic. If you didn't like it, that's okay. But it was still epic. It was still hugely controversial. It was epic in that sense. Epic doesn't mean that we have to like it. It was just epic. And you can't ignore it. And what I like about Marvel is that, and what I like about Coates here, is that he's at least dealing with it. He's dealing with the fallout. You can't have something on the level of a Secret Empire and not have Captain America deal with it and face the character consequences that flow from that. You can't. You absolutely can't. And he doesn't ignore it, and that's what's great. And since the United States government in this series now doesn't want Captain America's help because they're distancing himself from Steve Rogers. I mean, think about it. The United States is distancing themselves from the very superhero that is their symbol because he was Hydra Cap. And so Captain America is seeking help from Wakanda. And I think that's very interesting. And how is that going to play out? And what's the bargain that he made with Wakanda? This is just so far we're 2 issues in, and this is a great storyline. And if you just focus on the story and you come right out of Secret Empire and right into this is exciting stuff. I'm glad, because to me this is like putting lipstick on the pig that was the way Secret Empire ended. I don't like the way Secret Empire ended. I don't like the fact that Hydra Cap is still alive. I don't like any of that. But there's no question that Steve Rogers, he's got to earn his way back, whether he likes it or not. And that's a very difficult thing to do. Why? Because he's got to earn his way back into the hearts and minds of Americans. And that's a very, very difficult thing to do right now when they're in the midst of a culture war in our world. And you can imagine if it's it's 10 times worse in the Marvel United States of America, because they had a literal fascist in the form of Hydra Cap rule their country. So say what you will about Trump or whether he's this or that. The fact is that it's much worse in the Marvel universe what they had to overcome, and Captain America obviously has to deal with that. This is a great series, guys. If you're not picking this up, you should be, and you just pick up Captain America number 1 and 2. That's all you need to pick up. You certainly don't need to pick up Secret Empire. Although there are lots of issues of those that are still on the shelf. Some of them are even in dollar bins. So you can do that. But in any event, guys, pick up Captain America, issues 1 and 2. Check it out. And until next time, Comic Boom out.